Hi, I am Akshat, and just like all of us, I also have been a person who went through the MIM journey. First without a consultant and then with a consultant, LeapQuest. LeapQuest was extremely helpful in my journey, and I think through this video I can definitely make a good point of it. I highly recommend them for any of your MIM, any other MSc, or in fact Masters, or in fact your MBA application process. So I began reaching out to my friends, family, people around me, asking them what was the right college, what kind of courses should I be looking at, and so on and so forth. And I was looking at internet. My research constituted a lot of articles, YouTube, and so on and so forth, reaching out to my professors. But it was difficult for me to really conclude on a lot of points until I met people at LeapQuest. Now, both the consultant and the person who was with me, my single point of contact, both of them are extremely helpful starting early in my journey, because my application first round was in November, but then we started our application right around the time of April because I joined in early. I wanted to have a good hand, and that makes sense now that I look back at my application journey. We began with creating my CV. What we did was we broke down what my previous CV was, what my professional work and my community experiences were, what kind of sports I played, the hobbies I had, and so on and so forth. Once we looked at them very clearly, we identified the spots which showed some weakness, which did not align with the overall story that I wanted to deliver to the colleges. We looked at the parts that were really the stronger ones, the ones that we wanted to portray, and we ensured that with the right words and numbers we could highlight those parts in the entire CV. Once CV was finalized through a few meetings back and forth through the editor, we kept the CV on the side. We then looked at the kind of colleges that I wanted to apply, the most exciting part, right? Because we have some of these colleges, but sometimes our expectations don't meet our reality. So was in my case. So instead of approaching an all dream college, unrealistic dream, we broke down my college list into different kinds of colleges and universities that made sense to my profile at the moment. We looked at colleges which were a few dream colleges. We looked at a few mediocre or rather realistic, super realistic colleges. We looked at a few colleges which would have been safer, and through this strategy of choosing the right colleges, we came to a concluding list which made sense as much as possible, considering what my dream jobs were, what my long-term, short-term goals were, the kind of countries that I want to go to, the kind of contacts that I want to create, the networking, and so on and so forth. Once the list was created and the CV was done, then we created a small calendar of applying to different colleges. I began early writing essays, understanding what every individual college meant for me, and what I meant for the college, because the fit was important, something I learned through LeapQuest. So we worked on this fit, we worked on the application essays, considering that for some colleges there are a lot. And I'm really happy to declare that while I applied to London Business School's Master in Management program, Essex Master in Management program, Imperial's MSc in Entrepreneurship program, I applied to Bocconi University's MIM program in Italy, Milano. And finally, I also applied to NUS's MIM program. Out of these 5 applications, I got an interview call from LBS, and I could convert my NUS Masters in Management, and I also converted Bocconi University's Masters in Management. Out of these 2 conversions, I chose Singapore because Singapore made more sense for me. It is much more safer. The economy in Asia Pacific is overall growing. A lot of people in my network, my job professional network, knew NUS, so that helped because NUS has a good equity and goodwill in India, so that helps. Moreover, the kind of program NUS has really made sense for me, considering it's an elective based program. You get to choose a lot, and LeapQuest was extremely helpful throughout this journey because they could help right from the first day in creating a good CV, a good story, delivering it, communicating it through my interview mock preps, because we did multiple interview mocks, not only directly the mocks but also discussing what was required for me to prepare for the first mock and the second mock, leading to a good, confident me in the final interviews. So do I recommend LeapQuest to everyone? 100% definitely. I think that should be your first choice, considering you would want to have a good hand in your MBA and MIM applications, or rather any MSc management or MSc applications. So thank you.